Good morning to all. My name is Rajat Saini from Kendriya Vidyalaya Harsinghpura. Today I will demonstrate some interesting science activities for IISF 2023. My first activity is force on a charge. How a charged particle experiences a force when it enters into a magnetic field. To demonstrate it, I am having a magnet. This is the magnet. I am having a dish. I'll place this dish over a magnet और यहां से फिर हम इलेक्ट्रिसिटी की सप्लाई के लिए एक बैटरी लेंगे. इस बैटरी का नेगेटिव मैंने यहां पे एक मेटल का रिंग लगाया है, यहां अटैच कर देंगे. उसके बाद आई विल प्रिपेयर अ सॉल्ट सॉल्यूशन. This is the salt solution. I'll add more salt so that we will have more charge. We will dissolve it with the help of a stirrer. And I'll put this on this tray. Now, this is the positive terminal of the battery. I'll switch on the battery and I'll place the positive terminal like this. To check the motion of the charge, what I'll do, I'll put some powder. You see that powder is moving, rotating. You can clearly see that powder is rotating. If I'll take this out, what happens? The powder particles are coming to rest. If I'll again enter, again it starts rotating. So with this activity we can clearly demonstrate that how charged particle experience a force when it enters into a magnetic field. So this is the very easy demonstration. Force on a charge. The powder particles keeps on rotating till current and magnetic field is there. So this is the first activity. In my second activity, I'm gonna demonstrate series LCR circuit. For that, I have taken a bulb. It will act like resistance, and I'm having two open-ended switches. To demonstrate it, I'll switch on the supply and I'll short it. Now I'm doing the shorting. Observe the brightness of the bulb. Now only resistance is present in the circuit. Alternating supply is there. The bulb is glowing with some brightness. Now, if I'll introduce a capacitor in the circuit, as we know that capacitor provides capacitive reactance. So what I'll do, I'll take it out and insert the capacitor. Now observe the brightness. The brightness of the bulb decreases. What does it mean? That the capacitor is providing some resistance named capacitive reactance. I'll again take it out The brightness decreases means current decreases. I'll introduce an inductive coil in the circuit. Now observe the brightness. The brightness is still less, but it is more when capacitor was introduced. Now what will happen if I'll introduce both of them in the circuit? See, the brightness is still less. What does it mean? That these two components, electrical components, are providing resistance in the circuit. Now this is the series LCR circuit. We can clearly tell the children's this activity will make them to learn in a better way, that how inductor works, how capacitor works. They can clearly observe and understand the concept by observing the brightness of the bulb. So this is my second activity. So now my next activity is from optics. Very interesting activity. This will give a demonstration of refraction of light. So I am having a paper on which a red color arrow is drawn. You clearly notice the head of the arrow. Now I'll put it in front of a glass beaker. Now you observe the head of the arrow. What I'll do, I'll replace the medium with water. Now air is replaced by water. I'll add some more water. Now observe the head of the arrow. What happens? I think that you all can clearly see that the head of the arrow reverses its direction, but it is in the same position. If I put it again in front of water, it again reverses its direction. So from this activity, the learners can easily understand about the process of refraction. My next activity is based on from the system of particle and rotational motion, class 11th. Very interesting activity. So this is the activity. So this is, you can say, anti-gravity wheel. So here first you observe what is happening. I'll repeat again. I'll repeat. You observe it carefully. So here what is happening? This wheel is going upward, which is against the gravity. But to understand it, I'll use the scale. So this is the center of the wheel. This is the center of the wheel. If I'll observe the height of the center, it is near about 3 inches. It is near about 3 inches. But when this is the position from where I am leaving the wheel, observe the height of the center. This is 3.5 inches. So what is happening? Actually its center is going downward. Means all forces are acting on the center of mass. So from this activity we can give the children a clear picture of center of mass. From the structure it seems that this will go downward, but it is actually going downward because its center is falling into the downward direction. So this is very interesting activity. So in this activity I am having a candle and 2 balloons. One is filled with water, another is filled with air. Now what will happen if I will put this balloon that is filled with air over a flame? So it bursts immediately. Now what I will do? Now I'll put another balloon over the flame, but in this balloon water is filled. Now you see what is happening. The balloon is not bursting. So what may be the reason? So the reason is whatever the heat given by the flame to the balloon actually goes to the water, and the temperature of the water keeps on rising. We will keep this like this, but balloon is not bursting. So this is again a very enjoying activity. The learners will really enjoy by seeing it, that balloon is not bursting. So very amazing activity. So with this we can make the learners to understand about the ignition temperature also. Thank you. So in this activity I'm gonna demonstrate about the process of electroplating and a displacement reaction. So I'm having a battery. This is the negative terminal, positive terminal. I'm having two containers filled with water. What I'll do, I'll put some copper sulfate and prepare a copper sulfate solution. As we all know that the color of copper sulfate solution is blue. So we will dissolve this copper sulfate and prepare a fresh copper sulfate solution. We can see the color of copper sulfate, that is blue. In one beaker I use two electrodes, both are of copper, and in second beaker I use electrodes of iron, and we will see what are the various changes will occur when we pass electricity. So this is the negative terminal. I'll dip this into the copper sulfate solution. This is the positive terminal. So these two wires will act as electrodes. Now you observe the thickness of both the wires. You observe the thickness of both the wires that are in the solution. You observe the thickness. You observe the thickness. In the next beaker, I use two iron nails that will act like electrodes. I'll dip them into the solution. Please ensure that only the iron must be dipped into the solution. Now I'll switch on the current. Now the reaction starts. We will observe these two beakers after some time. with the changes. Now, in this beaker where we have used only two copper electrodes, you can clearly see the electrode connected with the negative terminal, its size increases, whereas the terminal connected with the positive terminal, electrode connected with the positive terminal, its size decreases. So what is happening? From the solution, copper plus 2 is going to the negative terminal, and from the positive copper plate, copper ions are coming into the solution. So this process is going on. So with this process, we can clean the impure copper. We will attach the impure copper rod with the positive terminal and the pure copper rod with the negative terminal. From the impure electrode, all the pure copper atom get deposited to the negative terminal. And in this reaction where we have used iron electrodes, we can see the blue color is disappearing and it is converting into green color, means copper sulfate gets converted into ferrous sulfate. So this is the process of electroplating. Now we will have a interesting activity based on the topic mutual induction. As you know that in mutual induction we will have two coils. This is the primary coil from where the cell is connected, and this is the secondary coil where the bulb is connected. So when the current in the primary changes, it produces the changes magnetic field that gets linked with the secondary, and it will produce current in the secondary coil. So when we switch on this button, you can see the bulb glows. So when we bring it very close, you see the brightness of the bulb increases, means the flux linkage of the primary with the secondary increases. When we will take it away, you see the bulb becomes dimmer and dimmer because the flux linkage decreases. So with this activity, we can clearly demonstrate about the mutual induction to the learners. They will really enjoy this activity. Now I am going to demonstrate about the rectifiers. As we all know that rectifier converts AC current into DC current. So we have prepared this model, this activity, from which the learners can easily understand the working of a rectifier. So we will have a transformer. Here we have attached two diodes. What does it mean? It is a full wave rectifier, and we are taking output across this LED bulb through the resistance. We have another rectifier where here we have used 4 diodes, means this is a bridge wave rectifier, and if we will use one diode, it is a half wave rectifier. So the transformer is step down transformer. We are applying 220 volt AC at the input, and we have the output across the ends of the diodes, and we know that LED bulbs works on the DC current. So when we switch on the supply, what is happening? The AC input gets converted into DC output with the help of these two diodes. This is the full wave rectifier, this is the bridge wave rectifier. Here also LED is glowing. So with this activity we can demonstrate the learners about the rectifiers. What is a half wave rectifier, how it works, what is a full wave rectifier, how it works, and what is a bridge wave rectifier. So this is very interesting activity. Now in this activity I will demonstrate about motion in a vertical circle. So I am having a bucket in my hands in which water is filled. So as you know, if I tilt it, the water comes out, but we will tilt it by the laws of physics. See what happens. Now you see that water is not coming out. Water is not coming out. What is the reason for this? The reason is when this bucket goes upwards, the weight of the water provides the necessary centripetal force so that the bucket remains in the circular motion. And we all know that centripetal force is required for an object to remain in the circular motion. So this activity makes the learner to understand that water from the bucket will not fall when it is moving in a circular motion. In the next activity, I'll show you a very nice activity based on which the learners can understand about the angular momentum. So, first of all, observe this activity. So, we have a spinner. So, when the torque is applied to the spinner, you see the position of the spinner. So when the torque is applied, the spinner is in this shape. So when torque is applied, you see the position of the spinner. Because when torque is applied, what happens? The angular momentum makes it to rise. So with this activity, we can easily make the learner to understand about the torque and the angular momentum. In this demonstration, I am having a Peltier module whose ends are connected with the voltmeter and a heat sink. So this Peltier module works on the principle it converts heat energy into electrical energy. So now I'll place one candle here. So the heat energy of that candle gets converted into electricity. By this Peltier module setup, we can make the learners to understand how one form of energy. Now you see the reading of the voltmeter keeps on increasing as the time passes. Reason being, the Peltier module is absorbing the heat energy of the candle. So as the time passes, so in optics, as you all know that learners find it very much difficult to distinguish between real and virtual image. So with this nice demonstration, we can make them to understand what is a real image, how they are produced. This is a very simple setup. So I am having a lens. For an object, I have used one candle and I am obtaining the image on the screen. So you can see that when light from the candle falls on the lens, a beautiful image. So if I will shift the image screen backward, the image will be blurred. So I have to obtain sharp image. So here we can see that I am obtaining the image on the screen. So this is the real image which can be obtained on the screen, and see the nature also. Light rays are actually meeting real image. It is inverted also. If I will bring this object closer, we will see that the size, you see that the size of the candle flame increases and the image will shift away from the lens. So based on this activity, we can demonstrate how images are formed, what are real images, and what will happen in case of convex lens if object shift towards the lens. Now I will replace the lens with a mirror. This is the concave mirror. Now in concave mirror, I have to keep the object like this. Now we can see a clear image on the screen. Here also, if I'll shift away from the mirror, image will shift towards the mirror. So we can see the image here. If I'll shift towards the mirror, the image will shift away from the mirror. So this is how we can make the learner to understand what is the real image, what is the nature, and this is how they can understand how convex lens and concave mirror are interrelated. In both the cases, when object is coming towards the lens or mirror, the image is shifting away from the lens or mirror and its size increases. So very beautiful activity.